This video shows the process of R1a's Asian branch spreading to Asia. %90 of people with paternal lineage R1a belong to subclade R1a-M417. Among these subclades, R1a-Z93 is the main branch of Central and East European. R1a-Z284 belonging to Z283 are Scandinavia subcladed, and R1a-M458 is the major Slavic subclade. R1a-Z280 is a Balto-Slavic marker found throughout Central and Eastern Europe. The migration of R1a-M41a appears to have been influenced by the spread of Dnieper-Donetsk and Yamnaya cultures. Subclades of R1a-M417 migrated west with the spread of 2800 to 2400 BCE corded ware. Originating in steppe, M417 also migrated east. They migrated southeast with the spread of the catacomb culture between 2800 BC and 2000 BC, and some of them also migrated eastward with the spread of the Poltavka culture between 2700 and 2100 BCE. For detailed information on their estimated migration routes, please refer to the other linked video, The Spread of R1a Associated with the Migration of the Slavs and Corded Ware Culture. R1a-L664 left the steppes between 4200 to 3000 BC and reached Scandinavia and Britain around 1700 BC. This branch is associated with the expansion of Proto-Germanic. Please refer to the video Why DNA Haplogroup R1a-L664 to the North Sea and Scandinavia, linked at the top right of this branch's detailed estimated movement route. Today, patrilineal R1a is highly prevalent in Central and Western Asians and Central and Eastern Europe. Where did their ancestors come from? Among the branches of R1a-417, Z93 is their ancestor. R1a-Z93 are historical markers for the Indo-Europeans, Persians, Medes, and Mitanni or Tatars. In this video, we will try to trace their movement path. First, let's quickly review the tree of R1a-Z93. The Z93's time to the most common recent ancestor, TMRCA, is approximately 2580 BC. The possessing dominant subclades of R1a-Z93 are Z94. Descendants of this clade spread to Asia. The people belonging to the Z2124 branch had spread out to Eastern Europe and Central Asia. The subclades belonging to Z2122 of this branch migrated to the Levant, Europe, and Anatolia. The people who migrated to Central Asia and India were mainly the Z2125. Among the other major branches, L657 belongs to those who migrated to Central and South Asia. These subclades migrated to South Asia, Arabia, Xinjiang, Iran, and the Persian Gulf. Y40 mainly migrated to South Asia. To understand their migration route, let's first look at the map where R1a-Z645 or PF6162, the immediate ancestors of Z93, were found. The TMRCA of Z645 is approximately 3010 BC. Then, shall we look at the regions where they were found by period? Z645 or PF6162, the direct ancestor of Z93 who migrated to Asia, must have lived first in Northern Europe. This can be confirmed through ancient DNA. To date, the oldest PF6162 has been found in the Baltic countries. Before 2500 BCE, PF6162 is found in the Upper Volga region of Russia, Estonia, Sweden, and Denmark. The ancestors of Z93 appear to have migrated towards Central Europe after 2500 BCE. PF6162, found in present-day Czechia and Poland, dates back to 2500 BCE. The migration to the Ural Mountains to the east may have occurred after 2050 BCE. This is because the age of PF6162 excavated near the Ural Mountains is after 2050 BCE. PF6162 from the Upper Volga region of Russia belongs to people who belong to the Fatianovo culture. PF6162 from Estonia, Denmark, and Sweden is from the corded ware culture and people of the Baltic Bronze Age. Discovered in Czechia and Poland, PF612 belongs to people who belong to Onetis culture. Judging from these results, it is highly probable that the subclades of R1a-M417 migrated from the grasslands toward the Baltic Sea, and some of these groups came to present-day Czechia. A chronological mapping of R1a-Z93 extracted from ancient remains shows that they migrated from west to east. The yellow dot is the excavation site of Z93, and the red dot is the excavation site of Z94, a direct descendant of Z93. The label on the white background is the estimated time of Z93, and the number on the black background is the earliest carbon measurement age of the Z94. There are two candidates for Z93's origin. The oldest Z93 is 3500 BC and belongs to the Cucutini Tripilia culture in present-day Romania. Their ancestors were likely PF 6162, people of the Fatianovo culture upstream of the Volga River. They may have migrated south and settled in the Carpathian Mountains. Or part of the PF 6162 that migrated to Central Europe may have migrated south to form Z93. Another origin of Z93 is the Fatianovo culture region. Z93 most likely diverged from PF 6162, which lived in the area. They migrated to the Altai region and West Asia. Found in the northeast and southeast Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, Z93 belonged to people from the Andronovo culture. Found in what is now Western Mongolia, Z93 belongs to people of the late Altai Bronze Age. Found in northern Pakistan, Z94 belongs to people from the Swat culture or Gandhara grave culture. The people who spoke the Proto-Indo-Iranian language, Aryan and Rig Veda and Avesta, belong to the Satashta-Petrovka culture in the Tobol and Ishim valleys east of the Ural Mountains between 2100 and 1750 BC. Z93 was also found in pastoralist nomads of the Abashivo culture, which spread widely from the Don Volga Sanyu to the Ural Mountains between 2500 BC and 1900 BC. Z93 was also found in the Poltavka culture from the lower Don Volga to the lowlands of the Caspian Sea. The Sintata Petrovka culture is associated with R1a-Z93 and its subclades. People from this culture were the first Indo-Europeans to advance west of the Urals in the Bronze Age. They paved the way across vast plains and deserts to the Altai Mountains, which were rich in metals. The Aryans made seasonal herd migrations from the beaches of the Caspian Sea to southern Siberia and Tian Shan, where they traded and looted. The horse-drawn chariot is believed to have been first invented by the Sintashta around 2100 BC. The chariots they built spread throughout Eurasia. An ancient fortified settlement, believed to have been built in 2050 to 1900, was discovered in Arkham. It is believed to be the home of the Proto-Indo-Iranians. Arkham was a circular fortress built of clay bricks. In the circle, 60 houses, hearths, cellars, wells, and metallurgical furnaces were found. Scholars have identified Arkane's structure as a built city that recreates the cosmic model described in Veda and Avesta. The settlement was about 20,000 square feet, 220,000 square feet, and the enclosing wall was about 160 meters, 520 feet, in diameter. The walls are thick and 4 to 5 meters, 13 to 16 feet. It was 5.5 meters high. According to Gennady Zdanovich, who led the excavation, between 1,500 and 2,500 people lived there. In search of copper mines, they quickly spread to the Bactria-Margiana region. Copper was intensively extracted from the Urals, and the Proto-Indo-Iranians of Sintashta Petrovka exported vast quantities of copper to the Middle East. They seem to have been fascinated by the rich natural resources of the Zarafshan Valley. Around 1900 BC, a copper mining colony was established here. Shortly after that, tin was extracted from Karnab and Mushistan in this valley. Karnab is between Bokhara and Samarkand, and Mushistan is north of Samarkand. Copper-tin alloys were a valuable resource during the Late Bronze Age. Weapons made from this alloy were much stronger than the primitive arsenic bronzes. In the 1700 BCE, the Indo-Iranians seem to have migrated south of the Amu Darya River and settled in irrigated agriculture. Tazabagiab cultural area. The Tazabagiab people appear to have controlled the trade in minerals such as copper, tin, and turquoise and pastoral products such as horses, dairy, and leather. Around 1600 BC, the old fortified city of Margiana Bactria was abandoned and subjugated to settlers from the northern steppes. The Central Asian cultural group with Indo-Iranian influence is known as the Andronovo Horizon and lasted until 800 BC. The Indo-Iranian migration proceeded further south across the Hindu Kush. Around 1700 BC, horse-riding pastoralists reached Balochistan, southwest Pakistan. The Indus civilization was destroyed around 1500 BC, and they occupied the northern and central parts of the Indian subcontinent in 500 BC. Ancient Indian Sanskrit speakers rode in chariots to Assyria, where they became rulers of the Mitanni from about 1500 BC. Medes, Parthians, and Persians, who spoke all the ancient Iranian languages of the Andronovo culture, migrated to the Iranian plateau in 800 BC. Those who stayed in Central Asia are remembered by history as Scythians. At the same time, the descendants of Yamna, who remained on the Pontic-Caspian steppes, came to be known as Sarmatians to the ancient Greeks and Romans. R1a frequencies are high in southern Central Asia, Iran, and the Indian subcontinent due to Indo-Iranian migration. The highest frequency, about 65%, of R1a is clustered around Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and northern Afghanistan. In India and Pakistan, R1a ranges from 15% to 50% of the population, depending on region, ethnic group, and caste. R1a is generally more robust in the northwest of the subcontinent and weakest in the Dravidian-speaking south, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and east of Bengal. Over 70% of Brahmins, the highest caste in Hinduism, belong to R1a1 due to the founder effect. So far, the spread of the paternal lineage R1a to Asia has been investigated through maps. In the following video, we will introduce the diffusion process of R1b, another major European Y-DNA haplogroup. Please give thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications.